What are we doing? What are we doing? What's happening? What's happening at MSNBC? What the hell are they trying to do? They've just completely given up on the idea that like anyone under the age of 50 will ever actually even accidentally encounter their broadcast. Okay? They're just like, nope, it's never going to come back. So what we have to do is just like maintain the audience of people that are dying. Okay? Before they die, hopefully we can sell them as many Prozac ads as possible. But MSNBC quite literally restructured the remaining pro-Palestinian voices out of their regular cycle. Okay, they took out Joanne Reed, and these aren't people who are like radicals at all. Okay, but Joanne Reed, you know, to give credit to her, was actively critical of Israel, like openly and actively with regular frequency. So here, Ryan Grimm, I believe, had some takes on it, so we'll just go there. But oh no, you fast forwarded this cushion. What do you mean this cushion? Yeah, this would leave Ali Velshi as the loudest voice remaining standing up for Palestinians' dignity on a regular basis at MSNBC. MSNBC canceling Ayman is a pretty direct and explicit message that the network has given up trying to get anybody but okay. You know, they restructured Mehdi Hasan before. They are now restructuring Ayman Mohyeldin's show. Okay, and yeah, they're also restructuring Joanne Reed, who is again another person that has been like actively pro-Palestine. So for those of you who are wondering, if I'll ever be on MSNBC, the answer is no. Me 12 hours ago. Wow, it was really wild that MSNBC just let I'm on MSNBC have me on for such a frank discussion about the Democratic Party's leadership betrayals and weaknesses, helping create the conditions for Trump's ascent. This morning, MSNBC canceling Ayman Mohyeldin's show. Yeah, MSNBC will lean into its progressive roots in the Trump era. That is what they said yesterday while they were restructuring. Except they're not doing that. They are literally clamping on, with the exception of Chris Hayes and Ali Velshi, like who remains on the lineup. Virtually everyone has to be either someone who worked immediately in the Biden admin, okay, or they have to be a former Republican or a current Republican even. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, MSNBC shakeups. Here's Ryan Grimm's TikTok on the matter. I think it's such a funny thing to say, but Ryan Grimm's been doing a lot of TikToks. Here it is.
I was actually a contributor there when dinosaurs roamed the earth, like from 2013 to 2015. So I know a little bit about how this cable.
Yeah, MSNBC. How about MSNBC? You know, MSNBC Xi Jinping
network operates. The two big things that happened here: Joy Reid losing her show, and Alex Wagner, who had been promised that she was going to come back to, I guess, the 9 o'clock hour, also being booted out. What's amazing is who they're replacing these folks with, because in 2015, my co-host, Crystal Ball, myself, a bunch of other people who were on the left were all axed from MSNBC just as Bernie Sanders was rising. It was kind of a wild, interesting, and I don't think necessarily a coincidence that just as the kind of energy that we'd been kind of agitating for years within the Democratic Party finally started to burst out, they're like, oh, this isn't funny anymore, and kind of got rid of that whole thing and only had kind of center-left establishment.
Yeah, they went full tilt. They were like regime enjoyers. If you are regime pilled, you can stay on. Okay? Please. The only programming decisions we are making are pro-regime programming, okay? You can only have pro-regime programming. It does not matter if the regime is in a dire situation. It does not matter if it's all falling apart. You must abide by the Democratic Party
representation. And so you'd have the kind of center-left to the center represented at MSNBC. And so it's not as if Joy Reid and Alex Wagner were kind of like far lefties and are being pushed out for that. But they were really among the only two, Ayman.
Kneecap just, oh, nice. What did they say? Let's talk. Handshake emoji. Oh, let's go. That'd be sick. I would love to link up with the boys. I'll DM them. I think they come to America sometimes. I believe that they were here before. That would be sick. What is Kneecap though? Kneecap is incredible. I mean, once again, not Mr. Music by any means, okay? But Kneecap is a hip hop trio from Ireland, and they are let's just say they're very outspoken. They're very outspoken about a lot of things, including resisting against colonial occupation, whether it be England or whether it be Israel. Why do they look like they could be in the EDL? This is the exact opposite of being in the EDL. Like, it's literally the diametrical opposite of being in the EDL. They would probably beat the shit out of you if you made an assertion such as that one. They're Irish, man. They're Irish. That is crazy that you just said that. Yeah, the only EDL they're participating in is the England Destruction League. Yeah, they had a documentary. Yeah, they're straight up anti-fascist. They are Republicans, but a different kind, if you know what I mean. The Irish kind. That is like the closest you can get to an anti-Irish hate crime, by the way. What you just said, like, that is. It's not a documentary. It's a biopic. Sorry, they had a biopic coming out as well. They were, I think the British government also, like, they successfully sued the British government recently for not getting an arts grant, specifically because of their political associations. But regardless, we'll get into that in a little bit, okay? Yeah. That's so yeah, these guys considering these guys to be anything like the EDL is pretty funny. But yeah, he's reading Voice of Hezbollah, the statements of Syed Hasan Nasrallah. But we'll take a look at what they have. We'll take a look at how we can collab, because that'd be sick.
Being another, Chris Hayes being another, who are criticize Israel, and Joy Reid probably kind of the most willing to criticize Israel, and particularly its its assault on Gaza the last.
For those of you who don't know, the EDL is the English Defense League. It's a fascist, white nationalist, English movement. They're neo-Nazis in England, and they call themselves the EDL. It's now no longer as poppin' because one of their leaders is constantly in and out of prison. Tommy Robinson, Yaxley Lennon, his government name, and also they've basically become more normalized in their politics through reform. Previously, the Brexit movement, and now Reform Party has made it so that they're no longer a outside of politics movement like mobilization, but instead a literal party you can vote for. All right, let's keep going.
15, 16 months. So with her and Alex Wagner gone, you're down to basically just Chris and Eamon, but who they're replacing them with is wild. You see Michael Steele, former RNC chair, who's now a pretty reliable Democratic partisan. Simone,
former RNC chair, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? What's happening? What's happening at MSNBC? What the hell are they trying to do? They've just completely given up on the idea that like anyone under the age of 50 will ever actually even accidentally encounter their broadcast. Okay? They're just like, nope, it's never going to come back. So what we have to do is just like maintain the audience of people that are dying. Okay? before they die, hopefully we can sell them as many Prozac ads as possible.
Sanders, who is like literally a spokesperson for Joe Biden.
I wouldn't say they normalize. The majority of the UK population doesn't support someone like Tommy Robinson. Yes, that was a misunderstanding. I should have clarified. It's becoming more normalized by the way of the Reform Party, which is an extension of Tommy Robinson style politics. But of course, they can't do active Tommy Robinson style sentiment in public yet, which is simply what I'm saying, which has actually led to the EDL kind of falling apart a little bit. Do you see what I mean? As in, the Reform Party and Nigel Farage actively talk shit about Tommy Robinson while they have very similar politics to Tommy Robinson. And now that there is a pressure valve for a lot of these people to at least engage politically, okay, now that there is an active political movement that they can engage with, they don't have to actually do like, paramilitary stuff. Which is also interesting because when the race riots happened in England immediately after the Tory defeat, if you recall, everybody, I mean, those were a lot of Reform voters. They weren't, getting together at the pub for a pint with the EDL boys. They weren't mobilizing on the boundaries of being a part of the English Defense League. They were mobilizing because they were angry. It seemed more so decentralized. The EDL was never a movement, you spanner. They're the original kind of Republican, like I'm an original kind of libertarian. The EDL was never a movement, you spanner. I mean, it was limited in its impact, but it certainly does not. It's nothing now. That's what I'm saying. What is going on? Trump is live. Oh, great. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a little update on what's going on at MSNBC, MSDNC. But the boy Nigel actively pushed those people to mobilize too, so they really aren't any that different to the EDL at all. You're right, I know. But when you're Nigel Farage and you've been an active politician for decades, you know better than to openly say certain things. You know how to press certain buttons and not behave like Tommy Robinson. You know what I mean? And maybe even at times act like you're totally different than Tommy Robinson. Politicians do this all the time. Remember when Donald Trump said, stand back, stand by, when talking about the Proud Boys? Okay? It's kind of like that. But Donald Trump, of course, was doing that in a shittier way than how Nigel Farage does it.